This morning, an unprecedented hearing in Lower Manhattan. Jeffrey Epstein took his own life and won't face a trial, but his accusers are still getting their day in court. The federal judge issuing an open invitation to any victims and their lawyers wishing to make statements, writing, "The public may still have informational interest in the process." Some have already come forward publicly. In a new interview with the New York Times, Annie Farmer says Epstein lured her to his New Mexico ranch when she was 16. One morning, she says she woke up and he was next to her in bed.
He is kind of like spooning me, he touches me, but I think I was freaked out and I was trying to think of it like an excuse to get myself out of that situation as quickly as possible.
Jennifer Rose told Savannah Epstein raped her when she was 15.
Yeah, no, he raped me. Forcefully raped me, but knew exactly what he was doing. And I don't think cared.
Many of the accusers who have come forward tell similar stories of being recruited as teenagers to provide massages for Epstein or work in his homes. That work quickly turned sexual. The recent criminal charges were a chance for the dozens of accusers to finally hold Epstein accountable after he was given a controversial plea agreement in 2008, avoiding serious federal charges. While Epstein's death has denied his accusers justice in a criminal courtroom, civil lawsuits attempting to collect damages from his nearly $600 million fortune are still on the table. And the question remains whether any members of his inner circle could face charges if they knew about his crimes or helped recruit his alleged victims. Attorney Brad Edwards, who has represented many of Epstein's accusers for more than a decade, says that this morning's hearing has great significance, telling NBC News, "While it does not provide complete closure, it solidifies the fact that victims are an integral part of the process. Whether they choose to attend or not, each victim was given a choice, which is how it should always be."